Hi and welcome to One Week at a Time. My name's Brett Burden. You may remember last week we were talking about a client of mine who was having difficulty getting his head around a particular area of business, which happened to be in the financial area, and it was called cash gap. So I had a few people ask me during the week in regards to cash gap, so I thought I'd take the opportunity to explain that to you today. Now, as I go through this, I'm going to go through it really quickly because it's messy and it's difficult to explain, and it won't necessarily resemble your business as I go through it. So what I'd prefer to do is make sure you get the right data to help you work out what yours is, but not only that, give you some information, some documents on the strategies, the dozen strategies that you can utilize to make sure you maintain your cash gap, or make it more effective by lowering it. So this is just an example, and understand that all businesses will work somehow like this. But as I say, this is only an example. It may not look like your business. I know a lot of people get caught up with this word right here, because if you're a service-based business like a trade business, you'd look at that and go, well, I don't really have inventory. The truth is you do. Your inventory is in the amount of hours that your business has available, productive hours that is, has available to the business itself. Okay, so your inventory is in hours. So you can relate this to all types of businesses. So in this particular business, inventory lands here on day 0. That inventory is then shipped to the client at this point here at 60 days. You, as in the business owner, has to pay for the goods here at day 30. So, and you don't get paid for those goods, so they're shipped here, but you don't get paid for another 60 days by your client. So they've got terms of 60 days. Your terms may be 30 days or 15 days or whatever. It doesn't really matter. This is just an example, and the idea is, what I'm trying to show you here is to make sure that you understand what yours is and go and work it out. So this particular business has a 90-day, so 30 and 60, 90-day cash gap. Now, the challenge is that the client that I was working with, he was having all sorts of cash flow issues, and I remember him saying to me that I'm making really good profit. The profit and loss says that I'm making really good money, but we're broke. We haven't got any money. And he said something along the lines of, you can't go broke if you're making a profit. And I said, that's just not true. I know as many businesses that go broke through too much business, as well as businesses that don't have enough business. Okay, so it's a balance. You've got to get this bit right here. And as if, we're dealing with businesses all the time that are wanting to grow by 30, 40% each year. Well, if that's the case, then you really need to know what this number is here, because your inventory has to grow. That's the part of the aspect of your business that's going to grow to enable you to get that much larger percentage in growth. Is you're going to have a lot more stock or a lot more people, and therefore managing this area here is going to be really, really important to you. You've got to have either an overdraft or cash ready to be able to continually buy more inventory as the business goes along. So look, I hope that somewhat makes amount of sense. As I say, we've got a lot of data and a lot of information on the strategy. So just a couple of strategies really quickly. Asking for a deposit before you either buy the goods or do the work. I know a lot of people say to me, no, that just doesn't work in industry. People won't pay us a deposit. I have clients say that to me all the time, and 12 months later, all of their clients are leaving deposits. So you just got to it's a different mindset. You got to get your head around it, and you certainly need to build your business around that basis, but it can be done. Another area is you may not be great at receivables. You may not be fantastic at collecting money. So if you're not, make sure you're handing that over to somebody else to do. So delegating it to maybe a third-party organisation who does that type of work. That way, if you know what your number is, this is why it's really important to know this number, because if you know it, you can minimise it or at least manage it, okay? But if you ask somebody else to collect the money for you, if you know what this number is, at least you can manage it. So you're not abdicating your responsibility, you're actually delegating that to someone else. So I hope that has made a little bit of sense there. As I say, it probably doesn't necessarily resemble your business. See, some businesses can have a positive cash flow rather than a negative one. It doesn't happen very often, but it's possible. But you need to know what your number is. So anyway, have a great week and we'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.